What is up the Steam blockchain? So today I want to reply to a comment that I got on whaleshares, and it was from Red's Fallin, and it was a very good comment on my video that was being called, let's see, I'm not sure if I posted it to the Steam blockchain. I think I did though. Yeah, it was this video. Tech abundance, basically talking a little bit about that, about idea cryptocurrency network automation is beyond human need soon. Okay, so that was the video, and the comment said, so I want to talk a little bit about the automation of leverage. I'm very passionate about leverage and automation because I feel that it's going to free up humans. So let's, I'm going to show you first. So this is what I'm going to quote here and replay to. Okay, so he said, I agree and disagree. I am unsure of artificial intelligence, and I completely think that we do not need to work physically as hard as we are. Most things we do, like how to get our food, let's say all fast food, can be automated. The making of all items everywhere can be automated. I only have one question. If everything on the blockchain is automated, that also means it is possible that what would be the point of making content that is not actually seen by anyone due to automation? I think it's a good idea. Yes, I think it has to be handled in a way that doesn't take the reason to be here away. In that I post something, it gets auto-shared, voted, and all the ones are not even seeing because they are off outside. I am unsure there will be ones that still check stuff out. I think this is a slippery slope. So I want to reply to this specific section. I only have one question. If everything on the blockchain is automated, that means it's possible that what will be the point of making content that is not actually seen by anyone? So the way these older networks worked was when the internet was very new, Facebook, YouTube, all this, it was, and even when websites was new, it was all about, I post something and then I need eyes right now. The eyes have value, the human eyes have value. But just because we have invented this thing called tokens right now and better code optimizations, we have basically invented our own digital value system that has a real world value. That means that we are not really dependent of human eyes anymore, actually. We're actually not. For something to have value, you don't even need human eyes. Really. You have this token generation system or token generator system that shares out value. And if you optimize this system, if you make it really effective, we see that people want to automate, more and more people are starting to automate their curation because it is, they see the trend of they would upvote the same stuff, so they can predict the pattern. And as long as it's data gathering or something with data, ones and zeros, something computerized, there's always going to be a robot's always going to be better at that, or a program's going to be way better at that than humans. So it just makes sense. The more people are just going to auto curate because it's just more effective. They have more free time over them. So the old idea, the old concept was, I need eyes. I rely on humans to actually get stuff done. I need humans. I need human energy. And me as being a content creator on YouTube, it really has, the last couple of years, been making content there for over 10 years now. It was always about getting humans, gather humans, more human eyes, the better. But now we're coming to this point with token systems, there's not even a need for humans. People can generate their own value and generate their own, both their content value and then get curated and get that funded automatically, basically by the whole machine. Now, obviously, you can tweak this system. If something, if some value, like the way I see it is, it's proof of when someone has proven themselves, been here for months and consistently has been producing quality, eventually comes to a point where you can predict their future, how, yeah, they're probably going to keep creating quality, so why not just automate this stuff, automate the value that they give. And so it's going to be more like a job, a digital job that people can, they know for a fact that this is going to have some value by the program, by the automation. This is going to make it so people doesn't have to try to create a revolutionary story or rely on randomness. It means that they can rely on the stable system that it's gonna have a specific amount of value. And we already see this in the real world. People have a job, people get stable value. It's a system that's proven to work, and now we're just copying it to the digital space. And this of course doesn't remove extra votes and extra support that you randomly can get, but if we reduce the randomness, should be, let's say, maybe just 10%, some small events that happen here and there, and it's all cool. But if you can automate, let's say 90%, that's going to produce an overall more effective system, and it really doesn't rely on us. Of course, just because we humans have hours of free time every day, there's still going to be some eyes that are going to look at value. They can always, we are creating systems of limitless value creation. But this also makes it so people have more free time over, they get more tokens in return, they have more time to dive into the niche value that they exactly want to consume. So there's going to be more eyes than ever before, because human population is going up to 10 billion humans. Still 10 billion eyes. And if you empower these people with a bunch of tokens, they have more free time over on the day. They basically have hours where they can either be productive, use their eyes to consume some piece of stuff, especially when they don't have to rely so much on physical labor to bring in income, basically. So all this is just going to bring in more people to have free time, and it's basically going to create more eyes in the system. And even though we don't need those eyes to produce value, but now people can relax a bit. They know that if a random person, instead of having to do something that creates an effect of hundreds of people flocking to a specific article or specific video, specific photo, it's going to be more organic, where sometimes one person comes in, and just because people are more now empowered by tokens, that means if one person comes in, it's going to be a more optimized system that they may have some leverage in form of tokens, so that one person may have a lot of power to influence stuff. So just a more efficient system, basically. So automation is just going to automate the way, automate the value effect, so people can feel more stable, and so they can invest just in general more time to all of this. I think it has to be handled in a way that doesn't take the reason to be here away. But it actually wouldn't take away the reason to be here. Or even though if a person leaves, it still doesn't really matter, because the value system is still there, right? The value system are going to keep producing value, even if no humans were on Steam blockchain at all. Eventually, when you get to the phase of when you can even automate content creation, it's just going to be a value generating machine. And it's really fine if a person doesn't want to be here, it's still fine, because the value machine is being automated completely. So it's going to generate value to people that wants value. And it's a true abundance basically means that it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter if a person comes or goes, because the whole system is not really relied on humans anymore. Everything that's data processing, a machine can do better. And it basically means that humans have more time over to dive deep and be involved in a specific field that they want to dig deeper into. So even if it would take the reason to be here away, which is basically impossible, because something that creates value is going to attract people. It's going to attract people because it generates value. So the Steam ecosystem is always going to have value, basically, as long as it keeps producing value. And just because the value system is code, basically, that means that it's already set. Like, it's going to keep producing value the next 20, 30, 40 years. It's not going to stop, basically. Humans can come in. It's actually humans that actually can, if humans remove all the electricity and do some changes, yes, the system can stop. But if you use the codes keep on running, then it's just going to keep producing, which is very fascinating, to be honest. In that post, I post something that's all the share auto-voted, and all the ones are not even seen because they're, offside. But there's always someone that's going to consume, right? But it's more going to come from that they just want to do it. Because it doesn't really make, like, if we produce a piece of content, we don't know if one person is going to view it or if someone is never going to view it. But as long as the person had a fun time producing something, then it's not really about consumers or someone coming in to consume that stuff. It's more about that the person did something that they fully enjoyed. Maybe they feel a bit present to the moment when they created something, and that is basically the reward. That's basically the reward, right? Just because we humans have a limitless desire for more and more and more and more, it means that it's still going to be a massive demand for basically consuming stuff. Like, humans love to consume stuff because we are attracted to limitless stuff, basically. We just want to consume more and more and more and more. We want to produce more and more and more and more. There's really no end to this, unless the universe sort of goes back up again in a little box. But I think that we had this thing called Big Bang or something, where stuff just keeps expanding, and it's going to keep expanding. I really don't see it stopping, really. I think that there's something called a big rip when everything's just when the whole universe is gonna close down again. But I don't think it's gonna happen in our lifetime, the next 100 years. But so as long as we live in this universe where stuff is just expanding, people really can do whatever they want. Like, first we have our imagination that already can come up with any sort of reality. Then you have the physical world where you can also sort of create whatever reality you want. And now we're going to have this third world where it's going to be the digital world, where people also can create sort of any reality you want. So you have these three worlds, three worlds, main worlds, basically: physical world, digital world, your imagination world. And I guess you can probably even stack in a dream world there as well. So maybe 4 different worlds. And of course, there are also probably many that I miss, because I'm just going from my mind created world, and my mind is limited. So I am for sure missing out on a lot of things. But you have all of these worlds that people can create. Humans have thoughts also and emotions. You can even call them 2 more worlds. And then you probably have another dimension, which means just pure consciousness that has no memory. So that can also be another dimension of life. So maybe we're up to 5 or 6 or 7 worlds now. I just mentioned pretty fast here, which is like, with all these worlds and the way life seems to work, is a person can decide for themselves exactly where they want to take things, what kind of reality they want to live in, what they want to experience, and so on. So it is very fascinating. It's very, 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 very fascinating. And I mean, I just know that humans are going to desire limitlessness. That's a fact, because desire is life. Life is desire, basically, which means we always want more. And it's not that we want more boring stuff. We want more involvement. We want something that has some real work behind it, or something we can feel that something comes from, let's say, a good source, or that it's something new created from nothing, let's say. So automation of leverage. This might be the best thing ever happened to this planet, since it's going to free up people. It's going to free up people, more time over, more time to explore stuff, more time to become fully involved in something, more time for passion, more time for love, more time for thinking, more time for emotions, more time for connecting with other people, more time to leverage trust and relationship, more time to basically do consciousness stuff, more time to look at energy and see how we can use energy, and more time to create stuff, whatever it is you want to create. It's really up to you. So thanks for this comment. It was a good comment, and I really do agree with the first point. All fast food can be automated. The making of items, exactly, especially the making of items can be automated. I was out walking today. I see all these cars standing by the side of the road, and it seems pretty resource ineffective that we have these big vehicles that use stands passive and it's not being used. It seems that we're not going to have cars just standing there on the side not doing anything in the future, because those resources can be used in more effective ways to do something else in the world. So we humans have invested a lot in the physical world. Now we can use most of those resources to do something in the digital world, and the cool thing is that we're going to have an abundance of material. So and that the digital world is basically cheaper to produce, which is going to save in so much energy. So it's fascinating. It is very fascinating. It's going to take a lot of time to do all of this, but I am all into it. And it's not really a guarantee that we're going to do something amazing, that we're going to create something amazing. I mean, if you give humans a lot of freedom, we can create whatever we want. Maybe some people want to create a crazy reality or imagine crazy stuff happening, and that might actually get manifested then. So humans can manifest all kinds of things, not just so-called good or so-called bad things, but it seems like we can do anything here. Yeah, thanks for watching this video. Steam blockchain. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.